Welcome to Tim's Old School Perspectives. Well, there's really no other way to say it. There's an awful lot of people out there that have given up on Trump's hopes. There's a lot of people that say, well, there's just nothing that can turn this around. The Electoral College is met, and so forth and so on. But the truth of the matter is, states can decertify and states could decide to use alternate electors. And I want to present to you a scenario under which they absolutely could do that, may do that, and we'll just have to see. The first thing that happened today, it came out that a Georgia Senate committee released a damning report on election issues, and election problems led them to recommend decertification of the electors. I can't really summarize the findings specifically, as there just isn't any way to say it without having censorship problems. You can find the final report on CD Media. This is not speculation, but the actual report. Secretary of State Raffensperger does get some dishonorable mention, and now it's breaking that his brother works for Huawei over in China. So this shouldn't be surprising that he has this China connection that seems to be sort of endemic of all of our Georgia politicians these days. And I have to say that it is shocking that people in Georgia would vote for people with such close ties to China. But unfortunately, that's the case. Needless to say, the Dominion machine debacle is mentioned in the report, and here is the conclusion of the entire report. Here's what they said. The legislature should carefully consider its obligations under the U.S. Constitution. If a majority of the General Assembly concurs with the findings of this report, the certification of the election should be rescinded, and the General Assembly should act to determine the proper electors to be certified to the Electoral College in the 2020 presidential race. Since time is of the essence, the chairman and senators who concur with this report recommend that the leadership of the General Assembly and the governor immediately convene to allow further consideration by the General Assembly. This is not just conjecture or speculation. It is a document from an elected body, which is the first from an elected body in the case of the aftermath of this election. And so Georgia may very well decertify their electors. They may very well just say it's either a wash or give it to Trump. Anything could happen, but everything's on the table right now. And this really is happening. In Arizona, Maricopa County supervisors are going to sue rather than comply with the state Senate subpoenas for election materials. It appears the Dominion machines will at some point be taken and analyzed. The amount of material subpoenaed went beyond just machines, and so that's why the election board is so reluctant to give up a lot of this stuff. They do want to protect the voters, but at the same time, it seems that they're wanting to hang on to those machines too. Now, of course, the Arizona State Judiciary is going to end up having to get involved in this, and when they do, eventually what's going to happen is these machines will be taken and they will be analyzed and we will get results of it. And so there's no hiding it forever. So eventually that's what's going to happen. And if these machines turn out to be the same as the ones in Michigan or the one in Georgia, then it's very, very possible that Arizona also would decertify their Democrat electors and they would choose electors for Donald Trump. And now there leaves one more state that would have to fall, and that would be Wisconsin. Now we know that the Wisconsin Supreme Court already has ruled in the case of these ballots of people who are indefinitely confined, and they have said that these can be reviewed on a case-by-case basis, and there's in the hundreds of thousands of these ballots, and most of them were done outside of the rules of the election, which means that all of a sudden the popular vote would turn from Joe Biden to Donald Trump. And you would have your 3 states needed to get Donald Trump to 269 or Joe Biden down to 269, however you want to look at it. And this, of course, would throw the election into the House of Representatives, which is the coveted situation for Republicans because of their majority of the state legislatures. And so the state legislatures, we hope, are the ones that's going to make the decision on this thing. We hope they will make their electors for Donald Trump. And also, this just leaves out the possibility of Pennsylvania. It leaves out the possibility of Michigan. They wouldn't even need to be talked about anymore because it would basically be game over. Now, Pennsylvania, in its case in the Supreme Court, you have to like Trump's chances in that one. And that is 20 electoral votes right there. And so that would be a very, very big deal if Trump did win the Pennsylvania case. But we don't know that that's what's going to happen. But what we do know is there's 3 states lined up pretty nice right now. And so if this perfect storm did come together, then President Trump has a very good path to reelection. And so that's what I have to say about these things. And I hope you guys are encouraged and having a great day. And I will talk to you in a while.